Hello, Joey. I hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to be talking about Mastering the Attitude of Achievement by Lou Tice. Uh, and yeah, it's a it's a fairly short book. It's about 4.5 hours long, something about that. And I will say this much: I'm definitely going to be listening to it again because I feel like there is quite a bit more that can be garnered from the book than my first listen would have me believe. Um, my phone is kind of not that good anymore. It's kind of biting the dust, and even my top volume is pretty hard to hear. So when I would listen to it at work, he will go into these lavish details and examples, and then talk really quietly at certain points while describing those things. And so that, combined with my phone not being up to snuff with what it used to be, made it hard to hear some of the stuff he was saying. So I do have some big takeaways, which is why I'm making this now, but I'm definitely going to re-listen to it at some point. So, what is Mastering the Attitude of Success about? It is about pictures. um, so, one of the big things that the book talks about is the picture that we have painted in our mind and what we believe in. So, these are technically different things, but they really go hand in hand. Um, Essentially, the picture of your in your mind is essentially you have what is physically around you, and then you have in your mind what the idealized version of the things around you should be like. And so your picture in your mind is why you will determine that your kitchen needs to be remodeled and renewed, or why you need to level up to the next, say, level when it comes to something at work or something in the gym. Essentially, what you have in your brain, what you and by proxy what you believe in, is what is going to move you to make certain decisions and to change certain things about yourself. Something interesting that the book mentions is that if, say, you have kids or whatnot that like to keep their room messy, and you tell them to clean their room, it's not the most effective way of portraying that information, because the mental image, the picture in their brain of what they want is that messy room. And so you have to try and subtly get them to change their own picture. They need to want to make that picture one of a clean room. So you have that. You also have belief. It talks about the placebo effect, like sugar pill and whatnot. And essentially, what it's getting at here is that self belief, genuine self belief, is a extremely powerful emotion. It's an extremely powerful thing that's within us, and it's something that not all of us are as privy to. And it's definitely something that I could get better about, because I've definitely at certain times been rife with disbelief in myself. This is a section that I'll get to here in a second, but having a positive versus a negative internal voice. Um, so yeah, the belief that you hold within yourself is the most important driving factor in terms of your own success and being efficient. And he describes efficiency as you have a picture in your mind, and efficiency is your ability to take that picture and form reality around it. That's an efficacious person, as he puts it. But what I really wanted to get onto was the inner voice bit, because that was a moment where I think I audibly went, oh, you know. Um, he talks about, what if your inner voice is a cruel one. And that was important to get me to thinking about, because I do have a cruel inner voice. I've had it for a very long time, and I can just mess up something menial and not that important, and I am just in the process of hating myself. Um, I do have moments where I go through these bouts of extreme self hatred, um, and obviously there's nothing healthy about that. Uh, so essentially, it talks about being able to recognize when that voice is the one that's beginning to talk, and being able to realize that you need to not listen to it. And that's of course easier said than done, but really, if I'm keeping in track with what I believe I need to be doing, what I believe that is the good thing to strive for, then identifying this voice and not letting it be believable will be much more accomplishable of a task. And I don't know if this is a normal thing either, but there are just these moments where I'll have this mood swing where I'm just mad, and that inner hateful voice is much more prone to attacking the smallest things. And it's like sometimes it'll get so bad where, like, even in that state, I'm just like, there's no way that's actually what I believe in. Like, I just need to slow down and give myself a moment, give myself a couple hours, something. So, um, definitely that inner voice was something I needed to hear about, and something that I need to be able to work on, because that's very not bueno for you. But yeah, and then the book talks about the difference between various forms of happiness. So what I mean by this is that there is material happiness, happiness because of things that are outside of you and your body, which really are all temporal happiness, and then the happiness that comes from achieving or being on the path to achieving what you strive to be, what you strive to do. And so he talks about how when he was a kid, he would be like, when he was in sixth grade, oh, I just need to get to seventh grade and then I'll be happy. And then he'll get to seventh grade and he's like, oh, once I get to eighth grade with the big kids, that's when I'll be happy. And he gives this example repetitiously a couple times. And what it is trying to point a finger to is that you cannot postpone and make promises about your own happiness based on things that you're trying to achieve in the future, that you're this lucrative idea that happiness is not warranted towards you until you have accomplished this thing. And of course it feels very good to achieve something like making it to the next grade or achieving a specific goal outside of that. But the thing is that these feelings, despite how good they can feel in the moment, they're exactly that. They are a moment. They are temporary. Whereas if you are on the path to your own personal success and you have made sure that you enjoy the process, and you are doing certain things as well that will feed your soul, such as giving back to your community. Let's see, the word that he uses is not quite generosity. It has the same uh, sound to the word, but it's essentially uh, giving without selfish intentions of having something returned to you. And it's the seventh stage of maturing, and it's one that many people are not good at, these are words essentially directly from the book. Um, and so, yeah, that's why when you give someone, say, a heartfelt gift, and you are just giving it to them to give it to them, why it is such a good feeling, right? Especially if it's something that they're really appreciative of. It's part of the reason why I believe that teachers decide to be teachers, because you don't have to give material things. You can give love, you can give time, attention. Uh, in the case of teachers, you can give knowledge. And I mean, you don't have to be a teacher to give knowledge, it's just my example. Um, and it feels good to give to the people around us without expecting something in return. And, usually you will get returns in the way of people being appreciative of you, kind to you, stuff like that. And that stuff feels great, but you still do it without expecting those things. So, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. There's more that the book talks about, and I will be re-listening to it here soon. Um, it's really unfortunate that my phone's audio quality is going downhill so much. These were some of the biggest takeaways I had on first listen, and there are moments where he goes into lavish detail with an example, and it turns out I had it on 20% speed, and I was missing certain things that he was saying because he would say them quietly, and so obviously I need to re-listen to it. There was good details I got, but there's more in there that I need to garner on second and third whatnot listening. And it's not a long book either, so it won't be a big deal. But with that being said, hopefully you enjoyed this review, and I will be moving on to the next book here before too much longer. See ya.